Yo, what is up, everybody? Popo here, bringing you guys a new video, and today we're going to be talking about how we can improve the competitive scene. Let's go. Welcome, everybody, and today we're going to be talking about the new system that the Pokemon Company is implementing in 2025, and what I think we can do to try to improve this system, because we already know they're probably not going to change it, right? They came out with a statement saying whatever, and you know how Pokemon Company is. They don't like to change. They do things their way, or you can just not play their game. They don't really care. But this past weekend, I went to Leaf's house for a cookout where there was a lot of great VGC players there. And I was able to really talk to them and listen to them and see what they had to say, what their concerns were. And some of their concerns were different than mine and some of the other people's. And they brought up some really good points. And one of those points, and the one we're going to talk about today, is they wish that there was something else to play for besides just a World's Invitation. And I think that that can be something that they actually do, right? That the Pokemon Company actually is able to put out there. And what I think could be the crux of this is those local scene tournaments, right? Those league cups and those league whatever challenges. And you can use those. I'm still getting used to those names. You can use those to like get you into these other type of tournaments. And what are those type of tournaments? Well, if you look at other games, and I've played a lot of different competitive games over my time, and oftentimes a regional means that. A regional. These are going to be tournaments that are in a specific region. Every region has one of these. They're usually held on the same day. They are usually capped maybe 200, 250 people, something like that. They're usually smaller than you would see for a traditional Pokemon regional, which is just a fancy way of saying a bigger tournament, right? Where they should probably change that name to like Premier Challenge. They can use that name, right? Bring it from what they were using it before and make this event a premier event. You can even call it that, premier event, right? And then you can change the name of the international to something completely different. You could do it to like Champions Cup. That way, like you're inviting, all these people to go for this cup and be called the champion, right? Champions Cup goes along with those league cups. So you're kind of keeping those connections, and those names make sense to people who are just getting in the game. You can connect all the stuff. But the main point of this is the regionals, right? I would like it if regionals were actually regional, because there's a lot of places in the United States that aren't getting any of these regionals, right? The Northeast hasn't had one in 2 years now. We don't know what's going to happen in January and past January. Maybe Hartford gets another one. Maybe Albany gets one, which was supposed to happen in 2020, but actually got canceled. So maybe, I wouldn't put your hopes on it, but maybe we do get one. But if regionals, you could split the United States. Let's say a lot of games do like 8 regions, or they do 10 regions or 12. I say maybe 10, just to make the math a little bit nicer on this whole thing. We're going to put it at 10. And what would happen, and this is why I got this up, what would happen, so we start at the regional, right? The regional event. So how do you get into this regional? Do you just sign up just like you do now? No. So what you would have to do is you would have to have champion points going into this. So this would happen before the Pokemon regionals are happening in real life, right? Like they have now, like Baltimore. This would happen before Baltimore happens. And let's say you need, 25 to 50, right? You need like somewhere in between there. They can put whatever arbitrary number. This would give a reason for people to go to locals, right? If you have 25, maybe 30, you win 2 of the league challenges or whatever, and you're able to enter this tournament. If you do 50, maybe you win a league cup, or you do pretty well in a league cup and you come in like, second and fourth and one of the other ones, and then, you got 50 or whatever. So this would give something to play for up until that point, and this could happen like right before Worlds or right after Worlds, right before those other tournaments start in September. And that would allow you to have a tournament that people have to play at locals for, increasing the number of people going to locals. Of course, you're still going to earn championship points at these regional events, though that's not going to be the only thing you're playing for. So let's say these regional events do have about 300 people. So there's 10 of those. So you're going to have about maybe 3,000 people. We could even say 200 people each. Some are going to be less, some are going to be more, of course, because you just have to fill out this. Maybe they could cap it, but then capping it kind of becomes a little awkward. So let's say 300. We'll drop it. We'll drop it 200. All right. We'll say there's 200 people who have met this and are able to go to these events, right? So out of these 200, those players are playing for not only championship points. Once again, this is going to be a sliding scale depending on how many people are there, like they're already using. So you're going to be able to earn towards those that Worlds invite, right? Because you already have some championship points here. You're going to earn some here, but you're also going to go to nationals, okay? And this could be done in Europe too. I know it's regionals, and I'm talking a lot about United States. It's the experience I have. They could break up Europe into different regions as well, and then you play against the regionals in those areas, and then go to nationals, which would be like even a bigger area. Maybe you split Europe in half or something like that. But then you have the nationals, right? And nationals would be the top X amount of players here. So if you have 200 from each of the regionals, maybe you do the top, 16 from each of these regionals is able to make it into the national. So if we have 10, that's going to be 160 players, right? 160 players out of 2,000 are going to make it. So it's super exclusive, right? They want exclusivity. So this is a way to get it. Maybe you can go 32, make it a little bit more, and then it would be 320. So we go like, we'll just do like 320. So that's kind of what you're going to go for right there, right? So 16 to 32, we'll just do a little, and then you'll get 160 to 320 people at this. This will be a premier event where you're still earning championship points. So the better you do at your locals, then you can go to the regionals. If you do well at the regionals, you're going to earn more points. You can go to the nationals. And these are going to be events that are going to be easier to get to for everybody, right? So the regional is going to be somewhere really close to you. The nationals might be somewhere like in the United States. It's going to be in the center of the United States, right? Canada is going to have their own. So they'll have somewhere easy to get, maybe Toronto or something. Which I know is, if you live in like British Columbia, it might be harder to get to, but Toronto's kind of the center and where it has the most people, so it would make the most sense. But you can have this in like Indianapolis, Mexico could be Mexico City, different places can have different ones. But so now you have these many players, they're all earning championship points, because no matter what place you get at, if you make it to here, you should get championship points. I don't think anybody goes home with 0. That would be really dumb, but it will be a sliding scale. It'll still be a sliding scale. So, out of these people, we want them to go to the next thing, which would be the international, right? So this is why we'd have to change the name of the actual international, because we want to use this for this. And this is going to be people in your continent. So this would be, it'd be United States, Canada, and Mexico facing off against this. Other countries will have, more countries and maybe less people qualifying from the nationals. So how many people qualify? So let's say it's in the United States. I think 16 would probably be a good number, right? And then since there's 3 of those, right? So that's going to really make an interesting tournament with 48 people. And what you could do with this is, you could do just a bracket elimination tournament, or you could do Swiss with cuts. There's a lot of things you could do with 48. I would say Swiss with cuts is always going to be better, but the Pokemon Company, just look at Japan Nationals. They do 64 with best of 1, double elimination, so I wouldn't be surprised. But so these 48 people, but also you could give the first place at each of the nationals if you wanted to an invite. So you can give like first a Worlds invite, right? First Worlds. Oh, so you could do that, right? If you wanted to. You don't have to, because that might be too many people that they, It's tough because here it would be 3, right? But then if South America, if each country did their own, there's a lot more. Europe, like I said, if they split up the regionals to certain regions of Europe, the nationals, is going to be cut in half. Maybe it's just 2 or 3 from Europe, and then you got the rest of the world. So this could be a really good system. And you can give first world's invite, and they still get to go to the international, in which they can earn prizing and stuff. And I think everybody who's in this 48 should be earning something. They should not just championship points. They should be getting money and stuff, because this is going to be a very hard tournament. And this international, once again, would be hosted in the middle of everything. So in the United States, it might be held in middle America somewhere, maybe still Indianapolis, because it's pretty easy for Canada to get to. The United States is a little bit harder for Mexico to get to, but the states that are more down south, maybe St. Louis you could do, might be a little bit closer for Mexico as well. So yeah, you would just pick a country that's kind of in the middle or really accessible to all those countries with major airports. This is a problem that Pokemon has, is putting these big events in places that don't have major airports, like Fort Wayne, Indiana does not have a major airport. Don't put things in these places. So yeah, so that's going to be 48 people, right? And let's say the top four, so top 4 all get world invites, just like you do at the internationals now, right? Top 4 equals worlds. I don't need to put the whole world, just W. So top 4 equals worlds, and this would increase the amount of people worlds. But even with this, there would be significantly less people than that have made worlds this year, and this would give more opportunities to more people, especially those in countries that are less represented. There are some countries that don't have any, regionals or anything like that, or it's really hard to get to some of these events. You can even do for like the top 4 of the nationals, they get travel reward to get to the international, right? For each of those. Maybe it might not be a lot, maybe it might not be a couple of thousand, maybe it's $400, something like that they get to use to get to the international. Now will help a lot. And so yeah, so this all starts with locals, right? So we're doing locals to get to the regional, get to the national, get to the international, and this can happen during the season. You just have to have this regional happen early. And then this national can happen, in January or February or something. And then this international can happen in July, right? It can happen right before the World Championships to get those last invites. And what that would do is that could change that top 75, because these people are going to be earning championship points in all of these different areas. So that means being good at your region, you're going to be able to go nationals, and then you could prove that you're good at the nationals. Then you go to the internationals, and then you're going to be up. And the championship point getting obviously is going to be higher into internationals, and it's going to be sliding scale. All these will be sliding scales, but you're just going to give invites to people who are able to be good and not have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. Because if they put the international in the United States, you never have to leave, right? If they put it in, Brazil, then you live in Brazil, you never have to leave. If they put it in, I don't know, I guess Germany, then you never have to leave, right? You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get this world's invite. And on top of that, you can still work on your world's invite via just the regular tournament. And this is going to be really the good players who are going to be on here, which is another good thing, because if the best players earn their invites via these, then those point totals are going to push down. So players who might have done good in these events went to an international, well, the internationals now, and did well at a couple of the regionals that they have now. They might get an invite now because those have been pushed down, because the best players with the highest championship points might do well at these and get free invites. So it keeps pushing down. Now, the reason why you put this last is because if these top 4 players already have their invites, okay, these invites will be pushed down to the next person. So if all 4 of the top 4 of this international have a world's invite already, these 4 get pushed down to the next 4. So it would be the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th place person would get these invites, and so on and so on until those spots are filled. If everybody already has their automatic invite, and once again, then it would be a sliding scale on the next thing. And you could just do top 2 on this international too if you really wanted to, but I think just giving it more than first place. And if this person wins and then also does top 4 here, once again, it pushes down. That's something that is a problem right now, is that if somebody wins 2 regionals, then it doesn't push down. And for people who are saying, well, as soon as somebody wins a regional, they're going to stop going to events. No, because that's not true. Because we have seen that many of the top players in the championship point race right now actually have won regionals. And they are still going to every single event, hence how they have 1,700 championship points. It's not by accident. They are going to all the events, earning points, and you know, they could be taking spots away from other people that would have won that. And it's fair, they did well, but that's Pokemon's fault for not having a slide, right? So if that person wins again, it slides to that person who got second, no matter what. Right, and that's the issue. And this would help fix a lot of that too if we put that little bit of a slide. And once again, more championship point events. People are gonna, you know, at least go to regional, because I don't like to play at locals because I'm not trying to go for worlds. So I don't really care if I do play at locals. I just play something fun and just have a good time. But like, if I was trying to get into this regional, I'd be like, yeah, I want to participate in the regional, right? So I'm going to try to win some events or get some championship points at these events before the regional comes around, so I can register for it. So that way I can be part of this regional. And then let's say I do pretty well at that. I get top 32, then I get my national invites. I'm like, man, now I got a chance to get to worlds now, right? Because not only have I done well here, I earned some championship points, you know, who knows how many, you know, you get from all this stuff. But now I'm going to nationals, and if I can try to get in that top half or that top 16, then I can go to internationals, and maybe I can just earn an invite with championship points by having these and going to North American internationals. Maybe now I'll go to a couple of regionals. And now I'm on track to get a world's invite, but who knows? This is something I just thought of and I think would be very helpful. If you think it's helpful too, let me know down below. If you have anything that you think would help this whole system besides just throw it away, which is probably the best option, let me know down below. If you like this video, make sure you guys thumbs it up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.